Who can it be now, Satan? Oh, it's the Reaper. Now, I can't do the whole voice like that for all those video, but what we have here is Spawn's Reaper. Now, I don't normally buy 7-inch figures from McFarlane, but when you have it for $4.99 from Toys R Us, it's too cool just to leave on the shelf. Now, I'm going to have to take it out of the package, and normally I take some of this stuff out of the package ahead of time, but I wanted to get the benefit of seeing how many freaking things I'm going to have to clip off of this, because I've already kind of had a heads up on this. Okay, well, after cutting it, it still is hard to get out. I'm like looking at this going, oh my gosh. So McFarlane makes sure that his figures don't get away. Oh, there's even more. Wait, let's zoom it down a little bit, go down a little bit. So he's got wings, which I know that I remember a Reaper figure or something from the original Spawn figures back in the 90s, but he didn't look like this. Not to my remembrance, at least. One, get the fingernail clippers because it's too tight for me to get in there. 2, 3. Oh my gosh, seriously? There's 3 things plus another one, 4 things holding down this one thing. You think you're a little bit overkill there, McFarlane? So far I've had to cut off 6 of these things. This stand, we'll just leave it there for now because, well, never mind. I could probably bend this and peel it off. There we go. And then I have all these little plastic things everywhere, and I'm still not finished. So I got this figure. All right, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at least of those things. Let's go on the back. The great thing about using fingernail clippers is you can go around the arms, just clip them off, turn them the right way. The torso is looking like it's going to be a little bit more challenging. This is where you would really need some. My fingernails are clipping and chipping. Not like I keep fingernails, I just keep one long fingernail on. This one's not it, but it's chipping. My gosh. All right. So after you take about 1,000 of those things out, I'm keeping it down like that to keep them from falling out on the ground. Oh, we got tape on this side. I forgot. I thought they were just like frictioned in there. In a perfect world, we wouldn't have to have all this packaging because it seems like I have more trash than I do figure. All right, so he's got 2 extra hands that look like they're for holding the Grim Reaper's, sickle. All right, first off, he's got really crazy colors. Now, the original Grim Reaper, I remember, was black mostly. So they went totally different with this guy. It was like more of a black, gray, and red, drabby kind of thing. It looked like this has got a very Spawn looking like design, but not Spawn colors. All right, so that head, and that's another thing. They feel like rubber when I'm touching these. They're not like actual regular figures. I mean, he's got the rubber diaper on, so it's a very different feeling than what I'm used to. It's okay. It's not like I'm complaining. I'm just thinking it's just weird. All right, I think his head's on a dumbbell because he can look forward than a normal figure could. And it may be his lower part. No, I don't think so though. But you can tell when you push it back, there's a ball up here and a ball on the neck. He's got hole in his back, and obviously the holes in his back are for the wings we'll put on in a minute. I'm just looking at the articulation. So the shoulder pads are actually stuck to the biceps. He's got a butterfly joint. Let's see, his left arm's already forward. His right arm was back and it goes forward. And it can go up as well. So it has a, I've got to say, when you could put your hands together over your head, the butterfly joint that I like is when you can do that with these without having to, of course, bend his elbows. But it's only for forward and backwards, it seems like. He's got a bicep swivel, and he's also got the hinge in his arms that allow him to go 360 degrees and out fairly far because he has 2 joints there instead of 1. He's got a double joint in his elbow. The bottom part seems to be stuck from just sitting in the package. There we go. It goes well over 90 degrees. His hands, they got the joint going into them, so you can do the up, down, or side to side, depending on if you can manipulate that joint right there and there a little bit better. He's got a torso articulation in the top part, like rib cage articulation, and then lower articulation in the lower pelvic area. Now this diaper is going to be confusing. So he has ratchet joints that go out to the side about this much. I think the only thing that's hindering him is this right here. And then it's also on a swivel that allows him to sit down. Can he sit down with his legs closed, or is he going to have to man spread? What is it called? Here's something in the woods. All right, looks like he can sit down fine. The boots look really cool, but they're really painful. That's actually pretty sharp right there. That is not soft. He's got double jointed knees. Does he have a cut at his... No, he doesn't. I thought right here he'd have a cut, so you can, you know, like a thigh cut, so you can swivel his leg. So if you want to put him on a motorcycle, he ain't gonna look right. So, sorry, I keep wondering what the heck that is in the woods. It's like there's a cat or something larger than a cat running around. Now, of course, I have cats and they're running around the woods. Tom loves playing in the woods right ahead of me. Ow. Bending this is painful. These things keep on jabbing you, so you're gonna have to find a good place, and even that's painful. All right, he does go back pretty far. He can almost kick his own butt as far as his knees can bend with a double joint there. All right, let's look at the feet articulation. We got that joint where you're gonna have to really manipulate it, and I hate that because he doesn't really need to do anything special with his feet other than ankle rock, and it's already in a bad position. So if I want to, there we go. Okay, so we can bend up this much, and then he can tiptoe that much because, well, let's look at his cuff links or whatever you want to call those things on his pant legs. And then he's got, I never understood the toe articulation. I thought it was cool when it first came out for Spider-Man because he's supposed to be the most like limber superheroes. But does everybody need toe articulation? Especially if you're wearing boots. You're not going to even have that ability in your toes. So, yeah, it's like, ooh, we could put up really cool poses. Really? Like that? Man, those feel like thorns attacking me. So if you want to get this figure, I would not give this to a kid. I don't know what the age requirement is on here, but this is not for a kid. They will hurt them. You'll have kids come in your room going, I'm bleeding, for playing with this. So this is definitely not for kids. This is an adult collectible. I'm afraid to push this in and then stab myself at the same time. So let's see. You might have to warm his body up with a heating pad. Did I turn the heating pad off? Yeah, I did. I don't think I even used it last night. Last night it was like, only got down to like 50s, mid 50s. So, and I went out walking on the beach this morning. It was perfectly fine. A little on the chilly side. So I did have a vest on. I like to have my bare arm shown as much as possible, so the ladies would just get excited. No, that's not the reason. I like to have my bare arm showing just because, I don't know, I never have like sleeves. I always thought they bothered me. Let me do this closer to my chest so I can actually do it, because it's also, that wing is kind of sharp on the edge. So it's pushing back on me more than I'm pushing on it. I know what you're thinking, science says, blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm talking about the actual physical feeling it. I'm putting more pressure on it than I need to. So the wings are pretty sturdy, actually. So he's got I always want to take these wings and put them on the crow or something. Do they make a crow action figure? I mean, I have a small one. All right, so nevermore. Yeah, they're pretty cool. I like the black wings. It completely doesn't match him though, does it? It's like black wings and he's got some black here, but I'm like, this looks like somebody messed up at the color wheel is what they did. They said, all right, make sure you do this because this colors, and somebody screwed up and didn't understand what the heck they were supposed to do. Now this looks like a double weapon, like it's a sickle on one side and an axe on the other. And it looks like a bird head. That's kind of interesting. Now, of course, this is not the hand for it, but if you do it just right, you can have it like he's holding it to the side, like he's carrying it. There, see? So he's not carrying it one-handed, but most time when you hold a sickle, you carry it two hands anyway. So for $5, what do you think? Was this worth it? I think he's really cool. For some reason, the boots really make me go, whoa, cool. The brown and teal and purple, I'm like, what were they thinking? I don't know. His armor pieces, I wish I could take them off and put them on another figure somehow magically. That would be cool. But man, he's got too many pointy parts. You know, if you really don't like these points, and I kind of don't, but at the same time, like, they look good, but they feel bad. There's always a thing called clip them off. You can always do that if you want to. The wings also look good. So the parts of the figure I like are the wings and the gauntlets and the leggings. The rest, it's kind of weird. So I'm wondering, like, if I kit bash it, what can I do with it? That's what I'm thinking. I think he'd be some really good fodder for a kit bash. Let me know in the comments if you bought this, or if you are thinking about it, or if this is something that's not in your wheelhouse. Normally 7-inch figures are definitely not my wheelhouse, but in my universe, the 4-inch figures are humans, and anything above that is either aliens or Nephilim or giants or gods or whatever. It depends on the universe. And he's supposed to be a supernatural character, so, you know, he could be a supernatural character and be too big. Like you always see angels are really big. Well, not always, but they can be. All right, well, y'all have a great day, and comment below. I want to hear from you guys. I don't get them in the comments, and I really enjoy the comments.